So let's talk about one of the biggest fights in tech today, the battle for platform control. And we're going to do it by looking at how one video game company decided to take on Apple itself. This is a big one. 30%. That's the magic number here. It's the cut Apple takes from, well, everything. Every app you buy, every subscription you sign up for, every in-app purchase, 30% goes straight to Apple. And if you're a developer, that's just the cost of doing business. So this gets us to the real heart of the matter, the question that regulators, companies, everyone is wrestling with right now. Is that 30% fee just a fair price for playing in Apple's amazing sandbox? Or is it a straight-up abuse of power? But to really get what this fight is all about, we have to look past the price tag. That 30%, honestly, it's just a symptom. The real fight here, the thing that's truly at stake, is something way more fundamental. It's about control. Okay, so what do we even mean by a platform? It's actually pretty simple. Think of it as a space that brings different groups together. The App Store is a perfect example, right? It connects app developers with all of us iPhone users. And the more of us there are, the more developers want to make apps. The more apps there are, the more we want to use our iPhones. It just feeds itself. And that is what we call a network effect. It's this powerful, self-reinforcing loop where growth on one side just supercharges growth on the other. It's the secret sauce that makes these digital ecosystems so incredibly powerful and, well, dominant. But here's the kicker. You can have the network effects, you can have a billion users, you can have the coolest apps in the world, but none of that really matters without one critical ingredient, and that is control. Because see, when you control the ecosystem, you get to write the rules. You decide who gets to play in your sandbox. You decide how all the money moves around. And most importantly, you decide who gets to keep the biggest piece of the pie. Which, of course, brings us right back to that 30% number. It is, without a doubt, the most obvious and controversial way Apple flexes its control over the App Store. And the system itself is pretty genius in a ruthless kind of way. It's two simple steps. Step 1. If you sell anything digital in your app, the payment has to go through Apple. There are no other options. Step 2. Apple just takes 30% right off the top, automatically. So you see, this isn't really just about pricing. It's a tool for total control. By forcing everyone through their payment system, Apple gets to control every transaction, all the distribution, and even the access to the users. It's basically a tax you have to pay just to exist in Apple's world. For the longest time, this system just seemed unbreakable. That is, until Epic Games, the makers of Fortnite, decided to run straight at it. And make no mistake, this was not some random move. It was a carefully planned declaration of war. And it all went down on August 13th, 2020. The whole thing just exploded. At 2 a.m., Epic pushes an update to Fortnite with a new direct payment option, a way to completely bypass Apple's fee. By the time most people woke up, Apple had yanked Fortnite from the App Store. But by that afternoon, Epic hit back with an antitrust lawsuit they already had waiting in the wings. Wow. Epic's CEO, Tim Sweeney, he framed the whole thing like this. He said, look, at the most basic level, we're fighting for freedom. The freedom for developers and for users to do business directly with each other without some giant company standing in the middle and taking a massive slice. And they didn't just file a lawsuit. They immediately took this fight to the public. Epic released this incredible video. They called it 1980 Fortnite. It was a parody of Apple's own legendary 1984 ad, the one that positioned them as the rebels. The message was crystal clear. The original rebel, Apple, had become the very thing it once fought against, Big Brother. So if we take a step back from the lawsuit itself, what we're really seeing here is a clash of titans. It's a battle between two completely different ideas about what our digital future should look like. On one hand, you've got Apple's model. It's a closed system. Everything is tightly controlled. The rules are strict, but they'll tell you that's what creates a consistent, secure, and safe experience for you, the user. Then on the other hand, you have Epic's vision. They want an open marketplace with different ways to pay, more competition, and they argue that's what sparks real freedom and innovation. But honestly, even beyond the arguments about open versus closed, fees versus security, there's a deeper fight going on. The real prize here isn't about owning the app. It's about owning the customer. Just think about it for a second. Because Apple forces every payment through its system, it controls the most important parts of that customer relationship. It has the billing info. It has the user data. It has a direct line to the device in your hand. Apple has put itself right in the middle, becoming the ultimate gatekeeper. And the consequence of that is absolutely massive. When a platform can sit between a developer and their own customers, that developer, well, they don't really own their own business anymore, do they? They become completely dependent on the platform just to survive. And this really gets to the core tension you see with every big platform. Is the platform a value creator, or is it just a gatekeeper extracting value from everyone else? Now, Apple's side of the argument, coming from CEO Tim Cook, is pretty straightforward. He says, look, we built the stage, we provide the security, we give you access to 1 billion users. We didn't build a gate to keep you out, we opened the gate wider for you to come in. But Epic's Tim Sweeney fires right back. He says that's just not the case. It's the developers, people like Epic, who create the awesome games and apps that bring people to the platform in the first place. So from his point of view, that 30% fee isn't about security, it's about protecting Apple's massive profits. You know, maybe the best way to think about all this is with an analogy. Think of Apple as a landlord. But they don't just own the shopping mall. They own the building itself. That's the iPhone. Then they own the only road that leads to it. That's the App Store. And then they even own the cash register inside every single shop. So yeah, for every single thing sold on their property, they take their cut. And that leaves us with a really big, important question for the world we live in now. As these giant platforms become the new landlords of our entire digital world, who gets to decide the rules? Should it be the platforms themselves, the creators who build all the cool stuff on them, or should it be, well, us, the people who actually live inside these digital walls? That, right there, is what this entire fight is really about.